Hey, I want to show you something. This is the YouTuber Kwebbelkop. He has over 15 million subscribers. He's been uploading on and off for the last 12 years. His most popular videos are prototypical kids gaming slop, world's hardest GTA try not to be impressed challenge, reacting to the greatest supervillain animation. These are the greatest magic tricks on YouTube, lowest common denominator stuff. But let's take a look at some of his videos. Notice anything weird? You might, because that's not a real person. In fact, it may not be a real voice, a real script, or a real reaction, because Kwebbelkop is in the process of morphing his entire channel into an AI-generated experience. And today we are going to thoroughly examine the implications of that experiment for all of YouTube. So stick around, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Thank you to Vance Global for sponsoring this video. Vance Global makes high-quality Delta 8 and HHC carts, gummies, and more. These are products that I use quite frequently. In fact, they have sent me 3 bags of their Delta 8 gummies in the last few months, and I have actually fully run out. The gummies are vegan and organic, and the lab testing is available on their website. Portioning is very different compared to other things you may have had, so make sure to look up how they are proportionally compared to other products you may be more experienced with, and start small. Now, Delta 8 and HHC are extracts and different from other stuff you may have used, so I implore you to do your own research to make sure that these are right for you. Personally, I have grown to enjoy the Delta 8 extract very much, but it is undeniable that these products are not as thoroughly tested and examined as others on the market. Even though Vance Global is very thorough on their own and I enjoy their products and use them quite frequently, the whole market can't be spoken for in the same light. Vance's carts are also great and I've used them quite often. They are 1 milliliter carts, the same extracts as the gummies. They have high quality ceramic coils and they are very easy to use. Vance guarantees that these are the best Delta 8 carts and says that if you're not satisfied, you can get your money back. They ship quickly and discreetly to all 50 states, so what are you waiting for? Go get some for 20% off by going to vanceglobal.com and using the code ROW. As always, use responsibly and in moderation and be safe out there. Back to the video. Hey girlies, welcome back to the hospital. I'm hurt and I need your credit card information to pay for my bills. Please, I know we broke up last month, but the Guitar Center stopped giving me insurance. Thanks for selecting this video instead of the one next to it. I managed to make you do this through highly intricate manipulation of the algorithm because YouTube wouldn't let me put "if you don't watch this, I'll hurt myself" in the thumbnail. Those pesky community guidelines, it feels like every day they get stricter. I can't even upload my cool video about that Japanese forest because the left will get mad at me. Today we are talking about artificial intelligence, coding, the tech of the future, the content of the past, and about one little weirdo who wants to do zero creative work. See, I want to do zero work in a communist way. He wants to do zero work in a capitalist way. We're not the same, but after the revolution, we will tend the same farm and raise a beautiful family of dairy cows for our commune. So I'm talking about Kwebbelkop. And who is Kwebbelkop? Real name Jordy. Well, Jordy is a Dutch YouTuber, entrepreneur, content maestro who is incomprehensibly huge on YouTube. And if you're an adult who uses this platform to watch adult videos, you know, stuff like slime tutorials, Animal Crossing Island tours, David Blaine magic trick reveals, you probably haven't seen this guy because he makes content, I would say, that is solely for children. Look at this dude, surviving 99 years as Spider-Man, Luca the movie in Grand Theft Auto 5, adopted by Iron Man, surviving 99 years as King Kong, Megalodon, Luca, world's richest kid, trading to a mega yacht, Minecraft GTA 5, poor students versus rich students, Megalodon shark, Luca again. If you showed this screenshot to a Catholic priest from the 1600s, he would melt. Also, poor students versus rich students roleplay. Why would you roleplay that if you could just easily go to an Ivy League? Because rich people get to go to schools really easily if they want to. If you're the son of a Fortune 500 CEO, you could mail Harvard a bomb and get accepted. Literacy optional, consciousness optional, you just have to be able to sit in the lecture hall and pretend to understand metaphysics. Jordy has accrued 15 million subscribers in his last 12 years that he spent on the platform, with most of them being introduced to his content through reaction, challenge, or gaming videos. And last month, Jordy revealed the big project that he's been working on, the introduction of Kwebbelkop AI, a system through which he can essentially generate videos without working on them. This involved using a 3D model of himself that would lip sync and do its best to match the audio, which very well could also be AI generated. It's kind of difficult to tell which parts of this are the AI at work because there's little transparency with the way it is being utilized. What it seems to be doing is generating scripts, actual voice recordings, and then generating facial movement and expression from those voice recordings. From what I understand, it seems like they still need to feed it gameplay or content and edit down the videos manually. Jordy responded to somebody on Twitter saying that's pretty much the only thing that still has to be done video-wise. We have a new AI editor, V2, but it's nowhere close to what humans can do. Expecting this to take another 6 to 9 months. We'll have photorealistic video before proper editing. This is a big deal for potential editors, so, you know, clear all the empty Red Bull cans off of your desk and please get something other than that mouse pad. It's not a good look. So whatever is happening here technically, considering the process is seemingly purposefully opaque, clearly it is lessening the workload in a relevant way, and he seems to want to ride this to full automation of his YouTube channel. But when he debuted the technology, it immediately led to massive backlash, not only from creators, but from fans of Kwebbelkop. So second grade classrooms everywhere were devastated. It's genuinely impressive that Jordy was able to alienate swaths of children in his audience without putting them, in a timeout or limiting their screen time. You have to have a next level fumble to make children snap to attention and be like, wait, this Roblox Spider-Man video is significantly lower quality. What the hell? This 100 Days in Among Us Minecraft video is second. Wait, please tell me somebody has put this on Wetterbox so that I can properly excise my detailed criticisms. His audience has seriously turned into Roger Ebert for GTA 5 challenge videos.
While the concept for surviving 100 days in Fortnite as Goku was interesting, ultimately there was a failure in the execution. From the lackluster structures, the unimpressive homages to the Godard and Truffaut, there was little here that rang all that original or compelling. When confronted with cheap entertainment like this, I'm reminded of the austere work of Yasujiro Ozu, the hypnotic, subtle masterworks that caused me to embrace the mundane ephemera as though they were the most important of wartime battles. Hold on, there's new Mr. Beast, I have to go.
I'm serious, though. The decision resulted in near universal backlash. Almost all of his comments are negatives, the videos are not getting good views, and content creators are making videos on him left and right, making fun of him and the AI that he's building. He's getting near unanimous hate from the enraged masses, but after all of this, he's still sticking by his project. He still claims that AI content is the future, and urges all of us to get on board while we still can. Why? It's not like YouTube is deeply against AI, or even viewers. There are dozens of viral videos about using AI, training it, analyses of it, and YouTube is even rolling out a suite of AI tools for creators. Everything from AI editing to AI music search. Now, before we get too deep into analyzing what Jordy's doing here, and we will get fairly deep, let's do a quick roast, shall we? First of all, this guy is Dutch. He lives in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, which, in case you're unfamiliar with, you have to go through an enchanted wardrobe to get to. The whole country was conceptualized by C.S. Lewis. The animals talk, their main exports are old-timey bicycles, pastries with too much crust, and condescending exchange students. It's like a study abroad kid. It'll really make sure you know how inexpensive fresh brie is in Europe.
You cannot buy brie for low price. How do you do charcuterie? Oh, I see. No, Americans do not do charcuterie. They do trans fats and red 40. Okay, serious topic. What are you doing about gun control? How do you deal with many guns? No, you have quite a big problem. Europe, we love talking about that. As I said before, I'm European, and these problems are new to me.
A Dutch guy with a tech startup. Steve, show me people I would want to hide from at a party.
I am so sorry, Rose. The answer we were looking for was Party Monster.
What? Wait, what's Party Monster?
It's the Party Monster. The monster that hunts you at parties.
Oh.
The Party Monster. It lives inside the walls. It eats your bones.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you, Steve. He really does look like you'd find him hitting a used elf bar outside a skate shop in Venice Beach, and he'd explain the difference between longboarding and pennyboarding.
Yeah, it's actually, the pennyboard is shorter and the longboard is longer. Yeah. Oh, I've been meaning to ask you, have you heard of the Eagles or Sublime or Red Hot Chili Peppers? Have you heard of guitar in general?
It's just ridiculous to me that this guy isn't playing U2 covers on some fraternity member's acoustic guitar right now. Borderline, it's a waste of talent. This guy should be a lifeguard who moonlights as the owner of an acai bowl shop in Miami, but he's running a Dutch AI business? What is happening to our country? Somebody get this man a regional Sweetgreens and a Panama hat. Every moment that those vacant eyes are not spent looking at a golden retriever is another second loss. This guy was meant to be a traveling salesman who lives in a yurt. I don't want this guy to sell me software. I want to see him on the back of a Cliff Bar, free soloing a sheer rock face. And let's get a look at this 3D model of his. Can somebody say Xbox 360 Connect shovelware 3 times fast? Xbox 360 Connect shovelware. Xbox 3... He literally just took an emoji, did no edits, and called it quits. Like first day Blender shit here. But let's look closely at this. It's really not an adequate model at all. Nobody could think that that's a real person. However, mere days ago, the Kwebbelkop AI evolved past a mere 3D model and became something a bit more pestilential. So Jordy uploads to YouTube and tweets this video, the end of Kwebbelkop AI, presumably an apology that would allow him to give up the AI stuff and redirect to different forms of content. Essentially, the video boils down to, we thought you guys would love this. Some people loved it and saw the vision, but not enough, which is why we are retiring Kwebbelkop AI. I mean, great, right? Well, no, because then he reveals that the version of him speaking to the camera for the entire video is the new Kwebbelkop AI, that they have been working on retooling the AI to allow for photorealistic emulation of Jordy. Now, this doesn't look perfect by any means, but when it was 11:30 p.m. and I was in my bed exhausted watching this video and he revealed that the whole video was AI, I was taken aback, mostly because the lip-syncing person emulating AI I am used to are still really primitive and look, to say the least, pretty shit. They often struggle to properly portray the intricacies of three-dimensional human heads, human hair, the lips move unnaturally, and the face warps in a uniquely alien fashion. This Kwebbelkop AI is one of the first times that I've seen a photorealistic quote-unquote AI model that could actually be mistaken for the real thing, and that shook me. But none of this really matters if the content he's making is really good, right? Like, if he's just using this tool to make good, interesting videos, then we're all set. Let's take a look. So on September 24th, Jordy, clearly frustrated with the backlash at his brilliant new technological marvel, posted this tweet. So you're telling me that pointing a camera at your face and telling a story is more creative than programming an AI, training a machine learning model, magically linking up all these systems and making thousands of videos until some are good, review these thousands of videos and pick the best one, repeat this process for months if not years until the quality is good enough, post the video on social media and listen to everyone's feedback, improve the above again and repeat. If I'm reading this tweet right, and I think I am, this implies that Jordy and his team have generated thousands of videos and they individually review them for uploads, which means that the videos that we are seeing are the best results from a creative process that literally generated more YouTube videos than the average creator could make in years. So let's see what this highly sophisticated AI can do.
Guys, I think we're stuck in a girls only prison. We must escape right now. Okay, let's look around for clues. Even though it looks super buggy. And there we go. The helicopter. And I'll see you in the next one.
I think we got started off on the wrong foot. Let's, maybe trapped in an all-girls Roblox prison was a bit highbrow for me. I don't think my untrained eyes were meant for that. Let's, save it for later. It's like an infinite jest situation. I'm not ready now, but I'll save it for later. So let's try Kwebbelkop AI can do reaction content now.
Today we're making the best crispy potatoes you've ever seen. So just make sure you grab your potatoes, put them all in a pan, and then you're just going to put them in there and squeeze it all out. There you go. You gotta make sure you're going to fry them or boil them or whatever you're doing with them. And now it's time to make some sauce. So we just get the sauce bowl, put some sauce in there, whatever you prefer.
He's killing
put some
it.
herbs in there, and it looks beautiful.
Okay. Okay, so what's interesting about that one is that it's garbage. I'm so glad that our human resources are going towards building software that can auto-generate slop. It's literally just narration the whole way through. There's no insight or analysis into the crispy potatoes. If I made that video, I'd be saying all sorts of insightful things about the crispy potatoes. Here's what it would look like if I did that video.
Hey guys, so today we're going to be reacting to crispy potatoes. Let's just get right into it. Hold on. Hello? Yes, I'd be interested in a free cruise with a prince. Okay, hold on. My social security number is...
I want to make it very clear that this kind of content is what AI has been trying to make, the whole time. Any more intelligent applications are basically a side effect. Auto-editing programs, AI-generated scripts, this is what it is going to be used for. Not for long-form essays or educational content, but for the filler that we already knew was garbage. If we look at Jordy's earlier content, it's not remarkably different from these generated videos. His biggest video, World's Hardest GTA 5 Try Not to Be Impressed Challenge, is a reaction video similar to these. The comments are remarking on how different his stuff is now. Damn, I remember when this guy was an actual human. I remember when Kwebbelkop made actually good content and didn't avoid swearing. Yes, nostalgia. This makes me remember so much stuff. But is it really that different? In a way, Jordy was maybe the best person to take on this social experiment. He has a massive channel that's probably already generated more than enough for him to live on for the rest of his life. His content was made for kids, the least critical audience possible, and his content was already incredibly cookie cutter.
What? He's riding a fence, riding a bike, riding a fence. Okay, this guy's in the tube right now, driving around the tube. And we have this boat and a jet ski right onto the helicopter.
I mean, look at these thumbnails and tell me with a straight face that his videos weren't already essentially being made on an assembly line. At that point, the biggest bottleneck is filming the video. Editing is mindless, all of the thumbnails are the same, you don't have to ideate because you're relying on other people's content. And what you say in the video barely has to be scripted because it is of almost zero value. If you're somebody who's watched Kwebbelkop's content in the last few years and you've become frustrated at the recent uploads, it's probably not that much about the quality. It's social outrage. It is collective rage harnessed by larger creators creators and people who rightfully think that this way of going about creation is lazy and misanthropic. It's telling that automating reaction content was such an early focus for Jordy and his team because reaction comment is almost by nature already automatic. Think about what a reaction video is. You start with the creator, somebody you may like or respect or be generally entertained by. This creator, for whatever reason, has decided that the only thing they could do for this video is watch somebody else's video, which to me generally implies a sort of dearth of ideas or creativity. To make up for that, though, they use the content of another video as an input and generate commentary based on the content of that input. In this way, the creator is kind of just a part of a circuit, the cog in a larger system, one that relies on outside stimulus to activate and will produce a generally predictable product. So once you've ironed out the kinks of an AI talking head, it would make sense that your priority would be generating accurate commentary on videos as they happen. Right now, we still need to feed AI outside stimuli to produce a product that is generally deemed usable. So it's a direct line from that to reaction content. I assume that through the process of creating reaction videos in large droves, Jordy probably realized that the content that he makes is foundationally uninventive and formulaic, and decided that automating the formula would be a better use of time than spending time honing his craft. Working on the AI reacting to AI videos. Soon everything you watch will be AI generated, might as well start watching. This reads to me as an implicit lowering of the bar. Jordy already understood that his content was not only uninventive, but borderline digital waste that was cached onto a largely indifferent audience. Why does it feel like more effort is being put into this rather than him literally just making the videos himself? And he responds with, spot on. I love the way he's bragging here. Hey man, why does it feel like you're doing this shit instead of making actually good videos? Oh, good eye. It's because I just love making trash. It's one of my favorite things. You should try it. Yes, very refined palate you've got there. I'm glad you're wondering. So I actually 3D printed your meal tonight. And before you ask, yes, the filament is poisonous to humans. Oh, pretty good argument, man. I'm pretty sure that in a decade, I'll be watching Senator Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's AI react to Wagyu steak versus 5,000 degree knife, and I'll be content. My wife and kids will all be watching the same video too, since we'll all be in our cryogenic pods connected to the same neural network, which means whatever I think they can hear. So legally, I can't think of naked women. Don't think of boobs. Don't do it. That does mean that I'll be able to share play content with my family conveniently though. So we'll watch real life $456,000 Squid Game so that I can show the young ones what the outside world looked like before the war made all land uninhabitable. Father, what's water? Shut up and drink your Pepsi ration, you little fucker. Now Jordy understands that the AI content is not entertaining or boundary breaking or captivating, but he understands that the type of filler content that can be mass produced is the present and possibly the future of online video platforms. We've seen this developing for a long time though. You know, the proliferation of heavily formatted and edited podcast clips that can be generated by the dozens from one larger recordings, Let's Play content that consists of multiple episodes that were filmed in one sitting, videos that exist to be placed on a conveyor belt and slowly rolled out to consumers. Mr. Beast's gaming channel has 38 million subscribers. Not to derail this video, but why? Why? Is Mr. Beast a good gamer? No. Do I subscribe to his main channel for his infectious personality and witty remarks? No. I subscribe to his main channel to see him walk on water and give luxury vehicles to uncontacted nomadic tribes. Can't stress this enough, Mr. Beast Gaming having 38 million subscribers is a horseman of the apocalypse, a sign of a massive declension in societal wellness. Children these days look gaunt. They've never seen a living tree. They only know Mr. Beast $1 million Minecraft challenge. He also has Mr. Beast Reacts, a channel that has 29 million subscribers. Those are 2 of the 4 channels that are promoted in the channel section of the main Mr. Beast YouTube page. And while they're not terribly active right now, when Mr. Beast looked at other content creation hustles to expand into, he chose these filler content genres that I was talking about, videos that make themselves, content made to line store shelves into oblivion. Jordy must realize that the type of content he makes is the type of content that sells for any creator. That's the thing though. I hesitate to believe that Kwebbelkop AI is just for Kwebbelkop. Have you ever thought about offering this service to other creators as an agency/productized service? Really curious about that. If any companies or creators want to talk, DM me. What Jordy is doing here is developing robust, dedicated technology that would allow YouTubers to take their likeness, their voice, their personality, and generate infinite content with it. I do not doubt for a second that his plan is to use his channel as a public proof of concept for this technology until it is fully prepared for the use of other creators. This AI that he's using is rapidly improving too. It's undeniable that he is very close to a usable photorealistic clone of himself. And as they work out the kinks in the coming months and years, we may not be able to tell the difference anymore. Van den Busch's AI influencer program, which launched this week after a suitably excitable level of hype on Twitter from its creator, is his attempt to make that happen. It comprises two versions of an AI tool. The first is trained on a creator's likeness, their on-camera performances and what they say in videos, and is used to create new content. Now, in this interview with Wired, Jordy essentially says that Kwebbelkop AI is a solution to the problem of the creator-centered brand. He says that he would work non-stop on videos, but he couldn't take a break because then his crew would be out of work for the time being. If this sounds like a convenient explanation, it's because it sounds like he's pitching an idea for a business, a proposed solution to a commonly experienced problem by large creators. Van den Busch and his creative team began trying to reverse engineer what made creators successful. We started testing a lot of theories on this, he says. We needed evidence. How much does the voice influence the performance with the fans? How much does the face influence it? How much does the content influence it? The individual-centered brand is a massive problem for some larger creators, so Jordy actually identified as something that people very much want solved. How does a company remain stable when it is literally formed around the public relations of one person? Well, Kwebbelkop isn't just a solution for the structure, it is a proposed solution for the creators. The moment AI creators are better, cheaper, safer, more brand-friendly than real creators, all the platforms will pivot. You will be left behind. So Jordy thinks that AI creators will fully supplant human creators, and he wants to help this happen. In this article, Jordy also talks about Blue, a previous AI VTuber he created that already has around 800,000 subscribers and has been uploading for around 2 years. It's clear, at least to me, that Blue was a sort of proof of concept for what he's doing now, testing the waters for the viability of content that really doesn't take any sort of creative input. Earlier I said that we won't be able to tell the difference between AI content and real content. I should rephrase. Even if we can tell the difference, his audience won't be able to. Kids won't be able to. Really though, it's wild how people reacted to this whole situation. People reacted to this the way I react, when I see a bee when I'm eating dinner. I don't act normally around bees, wasps. It's embarrassing. Instant 21 years of intense social coding leaves my body. It's not like socially reasonable. I start shaking like a dog who witnessed a home invasion. I lose all sense of code of honor. All my friends and family would suffer for eternity before I get 1 second in the ring with that bee.
You guys seeing this bee?
And somebody tries to calm you down. Oh, they're not trying to harm you. They just like the meat that you're eating. Respectfully, I disagree. If that wasp had the ability to cut my water lines and fill my home with carbon monoxide, it would not think twice.
Oh, hold on. Wait, so can we do inside? I just saw a bee.
All of a sudden, everybody becomes a bug expert. Oh, those don't sting. I don't think, oh, I'm sorry. Did you do your thesis on wasp migration and thought to mention that only now?
It's flying really close. Can we do inside seating? Do they have inside seating available?
Polar opposite of spiders, by the way. Nobody's ever like, oh, he's harmless, just leave him alone. There's a social contract, okay? If we see a spider, every single move that happens from that instant will be one that is working towards the death of that creature.
It's the size of a bird, actually. A real bird. It sounds like a plane when it gets close to me.
It's like, oh, it's like a magic trick. All of a sudden, this whole gathering is one of ecologists and conservationists. We're all card-carrying Greenpeace members at a National Geographic event.
And everybody's acting like they don't fucking see the bee, and it's fucking tripping me out.
Oh, honeybees are actually endangered. I'm in danger too. There's one of me and thousands of them.
Oh, you've never been stung by one. Okay, interesting. Awesome. Not solving the problem.
Okay, back to the, what was I saying? So kids' content on YouTube is awful. It's a plague. It's biblical disaster bad, but we don't have time to prep for the 40 days and 40 nights of TikTok slime video satisfying compilations. We just gotta weather the storm. And kids' content is the place to try to implement AI generation now because the videos are already incomprehensible nonsense. Look up baby sensory video right now. Tell me that couldn't be replaced with an AI video tomorrow. You can't. Honestly, some of these videos were probably already procedurally generated. Those Frozen Elsa Spider-Man videos that were littered all over the app years ago were all just different permutations of the same inputs. Kids have the lowest standards and are the easiest marks. This means they're uniquely vulnerable to this AI content, substanceless slop that they can watch for hours and hours. I'm going to read a quote from an article that I literally cited in another video earlier this month, so if you get deja vu, don't stress, this is just particularly relevant. Websites directed at children and websites that are popular with children are required to take special precautions with children's data. In fact, parental permission is required before that data can be collected at all. Corporations like YouTube and Facebook, however, knowingly evade these regulations by claiming that their products are meant for users aged 13 and over. YouTube is the most popular website for children in the entire world, and they know it, Campbell told me, and yet YouTube, in its terms of service, claims that its product is not for children under the age of 13. It shrewdly invites kids to talk to your parents about what sites are appropriate for you. When kids get screen time, they're spending spending it on mobile devices, likely watching video content or playing mobile games, etc. From the Data on Children's Media Use, an interview with Michael Robb, our 2017 census showed that nearly 98% of kids under age 8 live in a home with some sort of mobile device. That's a rapid and dramatic increase. The figure was 52% just 6 years earlier. Similarly, in 2011, fewer than 1% of kids had a tablet computer at home. By 2017, 78% of homes had a tablet and 48% of young children had their own tablet. Overall, the amount of time kids spend on screen media hasn't changed much over the years. For children's age 8 and under, the average is about 2 hours and 19 minutes per day. The proportion of time they spend on each kind of device has changed a lot though. In the past, kids spent a lot more time watching TV, viewing DVDs, and playing console games, but now they spend about a third of their time on mobile devices. Additionally, the article says that affluent kids spend about 1 hour and 50 minutes on screen media every day, while kids from low-income families spend almost 3.5 hours, and that gap has increased significantly over the last 4 years. That means this isn't just an issue of exploited youth or attention spans or terrible content, it's also a class issue. Lower income families will have less access to after-school problems, childcare, etc., so if a phone or tablet is there for convenience, might as well use it to entertain the kids. So if the content we show kids turns into an unenriching, endless, generative, terrible type of slop that provides no insight, poor kids are going to be exposed to it more. What did that Karl Marx guy say? The history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. I guess he was talking about Kwebbelkop AI. I never got to talk to the guy myself, so it's good to get some clarity on that. In our studies of tweens and teens, we looked at 4 different categories of online activity: passive consumption, such as watching YouTube videos; interactive consumption, such as playing games or browsing websites; communication, such as chatting through social media; and creation, using media to create and share their own writing, art, music, or other content. We found that tweens and teens spend far and away the most time on passive consumption, while creation accounted for roughly 3% of their media use. So young people are increasingly using the internet for passive consumption, mild entertainment. I do this too, all the time. I'll play a video in the background, I'll watch something while I brush my teeth. It is a crutch, but I've done it for a long time, whenever I've been able to. Now, as we think about these videos, we also need to think about the content of the videos, what's being said, why it is being said, and how it is being generated. If it's using a large language model or something like ChatGPT, we could see potential problems. From On the Danger of Stochastic Parrots, Can Language Models Be Too Big?, we have identified a wide variety of costs and risks associated with the rush for ever larger language models, including environmental costs, borne typically by those not benefiting from the resulting technology; financial costs, which in turn erect barriers to entry, limiting who can contribute to this research area and which languages can benefit from the most advanced technologies; opportunity costs, as researchers pour effort away from directions requiring less resources; and the risk of substantial harms, including stereotypes, denigration, increases in extremist ideology, and wrongful arrest, should humans encounter seemingly coherent language model output and take it for the words of some person or organization who has accountability for what is said. Did I read that whole paper? No, it was very long, but I did get the gist from the conclusion. You may call me stupid, and to that I'd say, yeah, exactly. Side note, did you know that my girlfriend designed the podcast art for Mystery AI Hype Theater 3000, the podcast by Emily Bender, one of the writers of that paper and a famous AI researcher? Because I fucking didn't until last week. She didn't mention that one. That's so cool. Anyways, for Kwebbelkop AI right now, extremism or stereotypes may not be a concern, but as this technology expands and he may sell it to more people, we may see it applied to news or political commentary, and that's where stuff like this would get very dangerous. If we are generating text to be used for content, we must be concerned about how that text is generated. I think now would be a good time for me to ask this question. When are we going to stop lying about AI? Now, if you're someone who does not want AI to overtake the human element in art and media, somebody who wants to see the regulation of AI and to see human artwork be lifted up and respected and made visible, I'm just like you. And I am talking to you when I ask that question. No, it is not a secret that AI shills grift nonstop. They lie about the quality of AI, about the power of the technology they're proliferating. They are selling stuff to us. They're businessmen or investors. It's an open stereotype that the tech bro archetype lies obsessively, is constantly chasing the next massive development that will change the way we experience life, and is constantly failing. But I've seen a rise in people who say that they don't like AI art because it's ugly or shoddily made or amateurish, and I can't say this enough. That can't be why you dislike AI art. Oh, but many AI models are trained on stolen assets and unethically might copy the work of others. I also don't think that's a good enough reason to dislike AI art, because people steal too, all the time. Art is based off of theft in a lot of ways. Stealing structures, replicating compositions, art is a dense conversation with itself, with photocopy, with theft. And if AI can replicate that very dense, incomprehensible haze of copying or replicating or being inspired by, maybe it's doing art a little bit better than we previously thought. So first of all, AI art is pretty damn impressive and good enough to fool a lot of people, even artists until they inspect the art closer. And AI art is only going to get better and better as time goes on. These tools are very easy to use, and we are in the early stages of their development. So every time we say, I don't like AI stuff because it looks bad or sounds inhuman or blah blah blah, we are implying that once these issues are fixed, we will come around to it. I've also seen people, particularly on social media, saying, I liked this until I found out it was AI art, and bullshit. I detect bullshit. You can't say you like something and then pretend you don't anymore. You still find physical beauty within it. You can't hide your shadow behind the sun. You'll wither. So AI art will only get better at emulating human art. It will start to fool us more and more until it fools us so consistently that we feel stupid when we can't tell the difference. But we shouldn't feel stupid. The reason that we shouldn't love AI art is not because it is technically imprecise. It is not because it is not beautiful. It is not because it does not look like human art. We should not love AI art because we are not robots. It's a really simple statement. It's direct and solemn, but it also calls to mind whatever made us arrive at that statement. Why do we need to say that we are not robots? It seems clear enough to you and to me that our fellow man is very easily distinguished from a machine. But for a long time we've been scared that the machines will surpass us. At worst, meet us, reach parity. And we are not robots, but we fear them being the same as us. I have a heart, I have a mind, I have hands and blood and lungs that fill with air when I need to take a breath, and lungs that push that breath back out, filtered, different. I'm made of organic material. I can get sick and make horrible, uncalculated errors and swerve off the road. I can lose control. We are not robots. We enjoy products that are made by the hand of our fellow species. We are loyal to them. If I were to see two identical pieces of art, one made by a robot, one made by a human, I know which I would proclaim superior, and I know which I would proclaim soulless. I know which could only arrive from sapient conscious thought and iteration, and which could only arrive from something alien to me, because I'm just skin laid flat on something fresh, new, muscle and tissue knotted. We aren't robots, but endless think pieces and sci-fi dystopias call into question the true difference between us and robots that can act the same. They ask if there is a difference worth citing. They wonder if the marginalization of the future will not be of race or gender, but of a subaltern class of androids or drones. We are not in that reality yet. In this world, I can look into the eyes of my loved ones and my friends and artists and understand that their inner world is dense and populous, complicated by fear and mortality. I know they can't explain themselves, and I know that they wouldn't want to. I know that in this world there's a difference between the robots thrust in front of me and the people I choose to keep close, and I will always choose to keep those people close because we are not robots. We could not be as capable as perfect, a straight shot and a steady aim. We could only be the shaky underbelly. The other day I wrote something to my friend, and I want to share it with little context. I urge you to meditate on these feelings in moderation, to not stew in these thoughts of immense failure or hurt or inadequacy, rather to harness their mass to hurtle yourself past your current state. A difficult pill to swallow is that truth need not always be shared, and that what is true is not always true. Reality produces thousands of truths, and the one you see right now is one that I assume you experience with what you perceive to be a great deal of clarity. As a writer and entertainer, and that is what you are, not a content ghoul, your duty is to see to your well-being and life in such a way that you are able to bring greater clarity to other people through your words. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much to Vance Global for sponsoring the video. Once again, link in the description, vanceglobal.com. Use code ROW for 20% off. Cool. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons for making these videos possible. Patreon.com/RowRamden. If you really like what I do and want me to be able to keep doing it, go support me there. It is the best way to directly support me. My friend Alexis, who I've mentioned in quite a few videos now, is still struggling with bills. I will leave their information in the description below. If you've come into any money that you are able to throw their way for mutual aid, please do so. But that's really all I had to say for this video. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Take care of yourself and take care of others. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye! Hi, I'm finishing editing this video late at night, and these are my patrons, and I really appreciate what they do.
but it turns out that one of my patrons, West, who is the highest tier, who is the highest tier, hasn't appeared in my last like 4 credits for some reason. I don't know why. I've been using the Patreon metrics, like the list. So I wanted to say specifically, thank you to West so much. I appreciate it more than you could ever know, and it's the support really means the world to me. And I'm really sorry that for whatever reason you didn't show up on the videos. It's confusing to me, and I'll fix it. I'll look into it. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. Everybody have a good night, and I need to export this video, so I need to stop recording.